Hello, guys. Good evening. How are you all doing? I hope you are doing okay. It's me, Success, again. I just want to quickly use this opportunity to just update you on the current Go trade, the current Go buy setup that I saw earlier today and I executed based on precision. So I just wanted to share with you guys. So earlier today, I haven't been able to post, but today I have been able to post because I have internet now. But let's quickly jump into it. So earlier today, on my 4 hour time frame, I could see that price was eventually creating lower lows and lower lows. So from the 4 hour time frame. So what happened today was I saw this quick opportunity to go in for a buy. So if you remember from the last week post, you can see my trend line. Definitely, I haven't removed the trend line because I wanted to at least show you guys how I use and make use of my trend lines. So in this case, from my 4 hour time frame, I could see when the week started, I could see, if you remember from last week, I definitely saw it was a sell opportunity from last week. So it was a sell opportunity from last week, and my trend line confirms that. So earlier today, I then saw currently I'm buying gold, a quick buy. So what did I see on this gold setup? So I saw that my trend line definitely has been invalidated, meaning there is no relevancy on this trend line. So which means definitely we can go ahead and delete this trend line because there is no relevancy. So what happened here is my 4 hour time frame. Let's quickly jump into 1 hour, which is the intermediate time frame to see what's going on. So if you can clearly see that the market was trading below this trend line, which definitely on this level gave me a sell opportunity to go in for a 100 pip take profits, which you can clearly see. But eventually, on this case, I was targeting more pip movement around 250 pips. So what happened? You saw price eventually did 100 pips and then reverse back. So what then happened? Why was I then seeing the buy? I was seeing the buy because I saw that price eventually broke above my trend line. And after marking the high and low of the week for the Monday, I then saw that we're definitely going to be having more of the buy for this week on gold. So immediately I saw price broke above this level, above my trend line for last week, which means this trend line definitely is no longer validated, which means definitely I need to remove this trend line. So I just needed to show you guys and explain why I still kept the trend line because I wanted to show you how I do combine all these confluences to get a perfect setup. So I saw that price eventually broke above this trend line. So what does that tell me? After marking the high of the week, it then tell me that we're definitely going to be having more of the buy. So what happened was I saw price broke above this level, and after marking the high of the week, you can clearly see I've clearly labeled it the high and low of the week for Monday. So I then saw that price has eventually broken above this level, and price definitely got close to retesting this level, the trend line. So on this particular level here, what did I see? From the 1 hour time frame, I found my confluences. From this 1 hour time frame, if I'm to execute on this trade at this particular time, from this 1 hour time frame, what did I see? I see and I saw a psychological level here which definitely is acting as support to push the market to the upside. And then what did I see again? I saw the high of the week, who definitely has given me 2/4 conferences as well. And what did I then see? I saw price action on this case, a W pattern being formed on top of the psychological level, on top of the high of the week, and then I saw 3/4 conferences. So immediately I didn't see this opportunity on time. So from this 1 hour time frame, I knew definitely this was the first entry position. I knew this was definitely the first entry position. So let me quickly label that out. So let me quickly label that so you can see. So I knew eventually this was the first entry position. So the question I then had for myself was, where am I going to then enter this trade? Where am I going to then position for a buy trade? So what then happened was, just trying to label this first entry position. So when I saw this happen, I knew I don't have to chase after this. I just need to wait patiently to see price eventually retest of this level. So what happened? A break above this psychological level happened, and this definitely was the entry time frame. So when I saw price eventually did this confirmation, gave me 3/4 Confluences. And below it, you can also find the trend line. So, which in this case gave us 4/4 Confluences to go in for a quick buy. So, I then missed that first entry position as I clearly have labeled. But then, what did I do? I then waited for a reaction of the psychological level. Then, why did I wait up this level? Because price has eventually created a new low around this level. So, what I was anticipating was a new high being formed, and a new high was formed. And what then was I expecting as well? I was expecting reaction of this level, and what happened again? A new high was formed, and I was waiting for the pullback. So I understood then we are definitely seeing a new market structure being formed. So what then did I do? So I then positioned here as the second entry time frame from the 1 hour time frame being the intermediate. I could see, and here can clearly be labeled as the second entry position. So you can clearly label this place as the second entry position on this place on this chart. So on this good opportunity, I could see here as the second entry position. So when I immediately saw this movement happening, I immediately went in for a quick buy. And then from my 15 minutes, which I used in executing the trade, you can clearly see what happened on this time frame. You can clearly see on the 15-minute time frame, I entered on this psychological level here. That's definitely acting as support to push the market to the upside. I placed my stop loss below this low that price has formed. So while the trade was eventually going in my direction, I turned and I reduced my stop to then breaking even on this trade. So I broke even on this trade. So that's why I've definitely taken this opportunity to also show you guys how and my thought process behind it. So as you can clearly see, as the trade was definitely moving in my direction, you've seen the blue arrow. Probably you know what this means. That definitely is the entry time frame. Probably that's the entry position and where I entered the trade. So I saw this movement, so that was the time I entered and then placed the stop loss below. And while the trade was moving in my direction, I then reduce my risk, and clearly it's almost hitting take profit. I was targeting the next psychological level. So what then was I targeting? I was targeting 100 pip movement in take profit. So which clearly the 100 pip movement has been hit. But I can clearly see that my take profit is a little bit higher than the psychological level, which is the resistance level on top. So that was clearly what I saw before I then went in for a buy trade. So I just wanted to keep you guys posted. I definitely didn't have enough connections, but lately, or rather, I just had internet connection, and I just wanted to update you guys. So if you do love how I analyze my pairs, how I analyze my trade, how I wait for my confluences, and how I execute my trade when I find my confluences, I need you guys to go hit the subscribe button. I want you to comment, like for more.